2 laps to go this time now as the field heads back into turn number 1. The leaders are 8.5 seconds ahead of third place Sterling Marlin. They're back in 1.
Last lap they went around the slower cars of Jeff Bodine and Jimmy Means. Now they've cleared those machines. Riding all alone, here's Elliott making a bit on the outside of Earnhardt.
Earnhardt dropped to the inside to try and break Elliott's draft. Elliott stayed on the high side, now tucks down behind Earnhardt. Earnhardt trying to catch a draft off the slowing car of Dick Trickle. About 2 car lengths separate the two now.
Neither driver has really tipped their hand in the last 3 laps, but now they must. Earnhardt dives low into turn 4, able to open up just a bit of a gap. This is surprising. This is a little bit of a change from previous laps. Earnhardt showing some muscle here into the trial oval.
Bill Elliott has only been able to get underneath Earnhardt in the corner, not in the straightaways. As it comes down to a horsepower battle on the final lap, white flag for Dale Earnhardt and Bill Elliott as they take it back to turn 1.
Bill Elliott again looking to the inside as he go into turn number 1. Now he'll peek around on the outside. Earnhardt puts it right down at the bottom of the racetrack. Elliott is there looking to the outside. Now following back at the fire tracks of Dale Earnhardt off turn number 2, separated by a car length and a half.
Lap traffic running a good half the straightaway ahead. Shouldn't come
Driving off turn number 2, Kenny Schrader and Jimmy Spencer hit the wall. Spencer flips 3-4 times. Now falls back on its wheels in the backstretch.
This will not affect the battle for the lead. They have to race to the start-finish. It is still Earnhardt with just about a car length over Bill Elliott. Classic Chevrolet versus Ford battle. The crowd waving their hats, throwing their T-shirts. Earnhardt will lead into the tri-oval.
The cars come through the tri-oval area. They'll close in on the Mark Stahl machine. Stahl stays to the inside. Earnhardt swings to the outside. Dale Earnhardt wins his 6th race of the 1990 season, taking the checkered flag in the DieHard 500. Bill Elliott finishes in the 2nd spot. Meanwhile, on the back straightaway, a wild flip many times over for Jimmy Spencer and a spin for Ken Schrader. Let's go back to Joe Moore.
Amazing for Jimmy Spencer. The car flipped over twice here on the back straightaway. Hit the outside retaining wall. It knocked it back over. He refired it and drove back around to finish the race. For Schrader, not quite that lucky. Now, Schrader has climbed out the car. He's signaling to safety personnel. There's debris scattered all over the racetrack here. But Schrader's car with a lot of damage sitting on the inside of the racetrack. The whole thing started as the cars came off of turn number 2 here. A pack of cars trying to get by some of the slower traffic on the inside. Schrader got slid into the outside retaining wall. Then he collected Jimmy Spencer. And again, Spencer flipped here on the backstretch and miraculously drove back around.
Spencer is now driving around this racetrack and will come across the line to take the checkered flag.
And Barney, I don't know about you, I'm sure maybe over the years you've seen something like that, but a driver whose car flips a couple of times, does a couple of barrel rolls down the back straightaway, ends up on its wheels, and the car didn't stop. He just kept on trucking down the road, comes across to take the checkered flag. That's something I've never seen before.
I think I've seen it a couple of times, but you don't see that one very often, and let's hope both drivers are okay. Obviously, Jimmy Spencer is. We'll get a report on Kenny Schrader as quickly as we can.
Let's establish again that both Jimmy Spencer and Ken Schrader are okay after that spin off turn number 2. Spencer driving around in his beaten and battered Heinz 57 Pontiac, while Ken Schrader climbed from his Kodiak Chevrolet. Time for the MRN crew to select the Peak Performance Cool Move of the Race Award. Joe Moore, you start the nominations.
Got to go with Jimmy Spencer. I don't know if that was luck or if that was skill, but I've never seen anything like it. It was pretty cool to me. I vote for Jimmy Spencer.
Dan Hubbard.
I'm going to go with Jimmy Spencer off of Joe's description.
Let's go down to Victory Lane and Dick Brooks.
Well, a vote for the Cool Move Award's got to go to Jimmy Spencer. I think Cale Yarborough was asked one time, when do you quit driving? And he said, well, you don't never quit. Even if it's upside down, you got to keep driving. It may turn over and you can save it. He did it this time. So I got to go with Jimmy Spencer.
I'm going to nominate Jimmy Spencer also, Barney, as far as the Peak Cool Move of the Race Award. It happened on the very last lap, and Jimmy was hovering around 15th, 18th much of the day, eventually finishing 24th. But like I said before, I've not seen a man flip like that and keep the engine running and just truck on down the road again. That's deserving, I think, of a nomination.
I think I'll cast a vote in that direction also. Just to have the composure to bring that car back on around the racetrack and finish certainly deserves a vote.
Mr. Excitement, Jimmy Spencer, living up to that nickname today. He'll take home the $500 as the winner of the Peak Antifreeze Cool Move of the Race Award. Let's check into the garage area and see whether Winston Kelly might have caught up with Jimmy Spencer.
Jimmy has gone into the infield care center for precautionary measures, Eli. We talked to a member of the Heinz Ketchup team, and they said Jimmy is okay. However, he did go into the infield care center just for precautionary measures, have a quick checkup.
All right, so maybe we'll have time to get a thought from Jimmy before we have to leave the air this afternoon. Dale Earnhardt has won the DieHard 500 here in Talladega, Alabama, his 6th win of the 1990 racing season. Meanwhile, a big story came on that very last lap. That flip by Jimmy Spencer kept the car running when it came down on its wheels, and he drove around to take the checkered flag. We understand he is now checked out of the infield care center. Winston Kelly is there.
He's standing here cracking jokes as usual. Jimmy Spencer, what happened out there?
I wanted to put a show on for the fans. No, just, Michael Waltrip ran out of gas, and Ken Schrader got into Michael's, right rear quarter panel, and, he hit the wall pretty hard. I'm glad he's okay, and he come back and collected me, and, just got me in a bad situation over there and put me into the wall, and then I started flipping. But the car come back down on all 4 wheels, luck would have it, and left my foot off the brake, and it started back up, and I finished the race. The car's tore up pretty bad, but... The Heinz Pontiac was running real good today, though. We ran in the top 10 for a while, and we broke in our valve spring. We did something like that in the engine compartment because we could never get over 6,500 the rest of the day, and I just wish that thing didn't happen, but that's racing.
You can tell from the tone of his voice, the man they call Mr. Excitement is okay. That's a heck of a way to get the Pete Cool Move of the race award, but Jimmy Spencer gets that today in his Heinz Ketchup Pontiac.
And our congratulations to Jimmy coming around to finish the event under adverse conditions there.